Hey, what's up guys? My name is Dan Coconati and today we're going to be taking a look at the song called Love Yourself by Justin Bieber on guitar. Now, this is a real classic song and it's in standard tuning, so that means your strings are going to be E, A, D, G, B, and E. So get yourself a tune and then we're going to get started on this lesson. All right, let's take a look at Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. So we got the first intro riff that we're gonna be looking at. And so when you're doing this, it's kind of a finger plucking, and I'm using my thumb and then my middle finger to grab the two strings, okay? And then you're gonna be doing this technique. It's more of an acoustic technique, and I would probably recommend the song to be played on an acoustic guitar. I just only have an electric, so I'm using what I got. But it would definitely sound a lot cleaner because you're doing the slaps, okay? And when you're doing those slaps, it sounds a lot more robust on an acoustic guitar. So let's take a look at the riff. So we got a 7th fret on the A, and then a 9th fret of the B. And like I said, I'm plucking that with my thumb and my middle finger. Okay, and you're gonna play that chord 2 times. And then slap. Okay, then you're gonna slide that shape down to a 6th fret of the A, and then a 7th fret of the B. And that's your second chord. Same thing, play 2 times and then slap. So you got this. And then you got one more. Now you're at 4th fret of the A, and then a 5th of the B. Same thing, play it twice and then slap. Okay, so all together, first little half of the riff is. So on that last one, you do a quick slap again, and then it goes into this. Okay, so the second half, now we're up here on our 9th fret of our A. Okay, so you got 9 of the A and then 10 of the B. So again, 2 times. Slide down, 7 on the A, and now 9 of the B, 2 times. So slap, right? And then we go to the 6th fret and a 7th fret of the B. So, okay, so the second half is. And then we go right back to that first. And it repeats. Okay, and once you get that riff down, that's really played throughout the entirety of the song, so you'll be really good to go on this. All right, so let's take a look at our pre-chorus. So keeping that similar idea of a note and then a slap going. So the first note, or the chord really, I mean, it's a power chord shape. I think it's a C sharp minor, but it's power chord shape. So that's a 4th fret on the A, 6th of the D, and then you have a 6 on your G. So that's, and then you're gonna pluck all 3 of these. So pluck the 3, and then you're gonna play the second one, just the 6 and the 6, and that's on the D and the G. So the first pluck is gonna be the 4, 6, 6, so all 3, and then the second pluck is just the 6 and the 6 on the D and the G. So you got, and then a slap. And Okay? Then you're gonna slide on down to an A chord here. So now you're on open, okay, of your A, and then a second fret of your D, and a second fret, all right, of the G. And again, because you're finger picking this, you're gonna pluck all three. So first bit, okay? And right after, you just play that one time and then a slap. And then you got, okay? So that last chord, we have an E chord. So you're playing an open on the E, and then you got second fret of the D, and then first fret of the G. Now I'm just holding the full shape. You don't technically need this, so you could play it like that, but it's just an E chord. So you got it. So it's boom, boom, slap, boom, okay? So 1, 2, slap, and then one more. And then that second slap, because then it repeats and then it goes to that first little bit again. So altogether, you should be hearing this for the pre-chorus. Okay, so actually I messed up there because there's a little transition chord right there that we got. So that's the first half, and then the second half, it repeats the exact same. So you got, and then you got this. So what is that chord? That's just a second fret, all right, of the D, and then a fourth fret, excuse me, of the G. And you pluck that together. So, and then it repeats again. And then you got that final little build up there. So that's just another power chord shape if you want. It's a B, okay? So we got a second fret on our A string, fourth fret of the D string, and then a fourth fret of the G. And you're just gonna kind of strum it out. And then we get into the chorus actually. Okay, so the chorus, again, we're keeping that, the slap idea going. Remember, every time you're kind of plucking this, you're trying to keep beat with your hand and just doing the slap. So the chorus, we're kind of just utilizing those same chords. So we got that E chord, so that's just open, and then a second of the D, and then a first of the G. And you're plucking all three of these. All right, so. And then slap. So that's your first part of the chorus. Okay, so then you're gonna do a B, which is just that power chord, and it's just a second of the A, fourth of the D, fourth of the G, and you're just plucking those all together, and then a slap. So. Okay, and then that next chord, so we got that C sharp minor now. So again, kind of a power chord shape, so you got a fourth on the A, 6 of the D, 6 of the G, and then a slap, okay? So all together with the chorus, you got, all right? After that slap, you're gonna go on down to the A chord, so again, open on the A, second of the D, second of the G, and slap, okay? So now we got this. So then it repeats and it goes back to that first chord we learned of the E. Slap it, and then. So the only difference on the ending is you go from an E to that, again, to the B, but then you just go right back to the E and slap that. So the ending just changes because you're going boom to boom to boom, right? And then we slap it. On that second slap, that's when it repeats the chorus again, and we get back to the full. Right? So let's just play the whole thing really slow, and hopefully it's all making sense. Second slap, repeat. And then it goes back to that riff. Okay, so let's take a look at the bridge or the solo. Now you can actually just probably continue playing the underlying chords of this, but I think it sounds pretty cool when you just play the, I think it's a trumpet playing it actually, and then you got Justin doing the vocals as well with this part, but it sounds cool to just play it on the guitar as well. So what do we got here? We got a 4th fret of the G, and then a 6th of the D. So you're gonna play that twice. So you got, okay, and then you're gonna play a 4th fret next of the D, and then down to the 2nd fret of the D twice. So all together, really slowly, it's, and then you repeat it exactly the same. So 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 2. And then the last one though, you come up though to a 6th fret of the D. Okay, so that's on the second one. So the second one's just slightly different. It's a 1-note difference. So you got, this is me playing the second part. Okay, and then the third part starts the same. You got 4, 6, 4, 6. But then you got, so it starts the same on the third go around. So you got 4, 6, 4, 6, and then you go 4 on the D to the 2nd on the D. And then this is where it changes. You come up to your 7th on the D. So 7, 6, and then a 4, and then 2, 2. All on the D. So. Okay? So all together, this is how your little bridge riff is going to be going. Thank you guys so much for checking out this guitar tutorial on Justin Bieber's Love Yourself. If this helped you out and you're able to learn the song, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and be ready for more future guitar videos. Thanks.